friends, and welcome back to the HTC family channel. If you guys are new here, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. If you guys are coming back, welcome back. So it's been 7 weeks already since we had our beautiful baby girl. We're super excited. We're over the moon with her. She's a beautiful baby and a good baby too. Today I'm going to share with you guys my postpartum update, how it's been going, as well as how it's been going with the baby. She's 1 month already and I am 7 weeks postpartum. So first and foremost, the birth. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch the video of our labor and delivery, I'm gonna leave a link here on the side somewhere so you guys can go out and watch it. If you guys already saw the video, then you already saw like pretty practically like how it went. I was feeling the contractions like starting at 2 a.m. I don't even remember, but it was like 1 or 2. So we ended up going to the hospital. They checked me in triage and they were monitoring, and they didn't really see that I had like I was having contractions, but I wasn't like an active labor per se, but they did notice a dip in the baby's heartbeat, so that's why they ended up keeping us there. I didn't want to be induced yet. I wanted to see if I would progress on my own, so they did end up doing a membrane sweep at triage, and then they moved me to my room, to my L&D room, to see if I would progress, but I just wasn't progressing. That's when they decided to just induce me. They were gonna induce me with Pitocin, but I said no to Pitocin. It was my 4th baby already, so I already had gone through 3 inductions before, and what had worked for me was the Cytotec pill. TMI warning. So those pills, they inserted in your cervix and then they soften you up and kind of get you into labor. So they didn't want to do that with me because I was already dilated to a 3, but I insisted and I said, you know, this is what has worked for me in the past. Like, I really want this done, and they ended up doing it for me. I've always said that my doctor is really good, my OBGYN, and it's very important that you have a good OBGYN. Mine was, and she supported me, so they ended up doing that for me. They gave me 2 doses of those pills before it got me into active labor. The only downfall of getting induced though is that the contractions are not like naturally made by your body, so of course the contractions got really bad. And if you see the video, we show like parts where I'm just laboring, and I didn't want to like get an epidural right away, especially because I was only like 3 centimeters dilated, or 4 or 5 at some point, but I didn't want to get an epidural just yet, so I waited until I just couldn't bear the pain anymore, and that's when I got my epidural. What's happened before with my epidurals is that I have a condition in my back. It's called scoliosis, where my spine is like curved towards the bottom. My epidurals, like I've had them, but they haven't really worked all the time. The first time it wore off. The second time it only worked on half of my back. I was feeling everything on the other half, and then by the time I was about to push, it kind of wore off again. The third time it actually worked. It was like perfect, but the problem was that when they inserted the epidural, they hit a nerve, so that hurt really bad. This 4th time the epidural worked, but I do want to say that I did feel when the baby came out, I kind of let out like a big yell, and I did want to include it in the video because I was like yelling, like I was like ah, because oh my god, like when the baby came out, like it, like that's what hurt. Like I kind of felt my body open up. Like I don't even know how to explain it, but yeah, I did feel that part. After I had the baby, thank God I had no tearing, which I'm gonna talk more about that a little bit. I think that's what contributed to having more of an easier postpartum journey, but I did feel when they took the placenta out. I did feel that too, but I was super happy and I had my baby in my arms, so it didn't really matter. Like I kind of like felt it really quick. If you guys didn't know, we did wait to find out the gender of our baby. I had 3 babies. I had a boy, a girl, and then another boy. So my 4th one, we were kind of hoping to have a girl, and we were super surprised when it was a girl. Like it was just an amazing feeling. I told him specifically that I wanted my husband to be the one to say the gender of the baby. I told him to like not mess it up to like take a good look, and I wanted him to be the one to announce the gender of the baby, and it was just such a beautiful moment. I was in pure bliss. It was amazing. I was just really happy. Everything was so perfect. I think the only thing that was missing in that moment was having my other 3 babies with me, but of course because of COVID I couldn't have them there at the hospital, and just I guess for reasons that like I had the baby at 10:52, like even so, like that was their time to be asleep and whatnot. So yeah, that was like the only thing that was missing, but I just want to say that it was the perfect moment. It was beautiful. My baby, you know, getting her handed to me and just spending her first moments in my arms. it was just amazing. So after we got home, the babies met their little sister, and if you guys haven't seen that video, I'm gonna link it somewhere over here. She came, they were like, baby cutie, like they were referring to her as baby cutie. And even up until now, they refer to her as baby cutie. They know that her name is Regina, but they love calling her baby cutie, which I love because that's what we called her throughout my whole pregnancy. I was very grateful because I knew that my husband was going to be home with me for the first 2 weeks, and I knew that I needed that support. Knowing that he was going to be here to support me, like, it just meant the world to me. Like, it took a weight off my shoulders. He was a very, very great help to me. He would wake up in the middle of the night with me. Of course, like, there's only so much he can do because I'm breastfeeding my daughter, but it's amazing to have the support for those first 2 weeks. As far as my breastfeeding, baby latched really good right away at the hospital, and here at the house my milk came in like 2 days after. And when my milk came in, I already knew what to expect. This already being my 4th time, I already knew, and my breastfeeding journey has been a good one this time around. The only thing is that I do have a painful letdown, but I think that's just because I have an oversupply. As far as nutrition and fitness, so I am 7 weeks postpartum. I have not worked out at all. I don't wear a faja. I know that, you know, in my culture at least, like even when my mom would tell me like ponte una faja, and those are like body wraps, like that, or like a belly wrap, belly binding. But I don't know, like I've tried wearing fajas before with my other babies, and they're just so uncomfortable. Like, they're so uncomfortable. And when you're postpartum, like, you're not really standing up a lot, you're sitting down often, and I don't know, like I would just feel like the pressure of the faja when I was sitting down or when I was asleep. Like, I couldn't really move, no me podía mover bien, so they were just super uncomfortable. I didn't weigh myself at all. I didn't wear a faja. I knew that, you know, this was a process, and I couldn't go in there to expect to bounce back right away. I kind of know by now, like, how you're just swollen those first couple of days and those first couple of weeks, really. And I still kind of am. Like, I noticed that I do have swelling in my face. It's not as bad as when I was pregnant, but I am still swollen. My body doesn't look the same. It didn't look the same the first time, second time, third time, fourth time. It doesn't look the same, and it's okay. And then another symptom was the postpartum depression or the postpartum blues. I did start feeling like the postpartum blues at the beginning, but it was just like at the beginning of the transition. We were used to a routine here with the kids, like a specific routine, and then we got home with the baby and everything was different. Like, we had to change everything around. So throughout that transition, like, I don't know, like I started feeling like I think it was more like I was overwhelmed, not really depressed, but mostly overwhelmed. So I did feel that. So I'm not gonna call it postpartum depression. I think it was mostly like the postpartum blues, like the baby blues. Something that was really hard was like transitioning to 4 under 4. I don't know, just like the no sleep. I knew that was gonna happen, but like I wasn't prepared for 4 under 4. A lot of times I would hear that, like, after you have 3 babies, once you have the 4th one, it's like if nothing. That's not true. It was a transition. Maybe it's because my babies are so young, but yeah, we definitely felt the transition, and it was a very, very challenging one, especially because another challenge I had was that we're still doing school. So for the first weeks, like 2-3 weeks, I just told my professors, like, you know what, I can't right now. Like, I didn't show up to class. I wasn't doing my assignments. It just, those first weeks I felt off. I knew that there was deadlines that I was missing, and that made me feel like I was failing. I'm blessed because my professors were working with me, and you know, that just, it made it so much better. I ended up starting to do better with my classes and started to catch up at the end of the month. Regina was already a month by then, but I started to turn in assignments. I actually had a presentation that I gave towards the end of the month. I was dreading that day. I was like, oh my god, I have to give a presentation. How? Like, I have 4 babies, I'm postpartum, breastfeeding, like, in a ponytail every day. Like, how am I gonna do that? but I got done. I got it done, and I'm just proud of myself for that. Another big challenge that we went through was that all of our babies got RSV. The one thing that we were fearing the most, even more than COVID, was the kids getting RSV, specifically Regina getting RSV. We ended up having to take her to the hospital. They had to put her on oxygen. It was just a hard time. Just seeing her like that, we're just grateful that she got out of it. Let's go. Does she want to feed?
I think she's sleepy.
So here is baby Regina. She's having a little bit of a baby acne, no, eczema, ¿verdad? Eczema flare up. So, but here she is, mi chiquita. She's about to eat her lechita. Hi, look, she's smiling. Oh, chiquita. Let me put her to bed. Okay, so we had to transition because I had to breastfeed the baby, and then my camera was about to die. Well, the battery was about to die, so I kind of just switched to my phone, so that's why it kind of looks like a little different. Okay, puppy. But anyway, a little bit of a baby update. So she's been gaining weight really good, guys. Today she was weighing 9 pounds 1 ounce. Wait, did I say it right? Yeah, 9 pounds and 1 ounce. I've been breastfeeding the baby a lot, especially these days that I'm cluster feeding her. So I'm like hungry all the time. Like I eat all the time. We could have like a full-blown meal and I'm still hungry afterwards. Like, and I've been very, very, ¿cómo se dice? Very antojada of the sweets. Oh, mamá. No, mi amor. Maybe I should feed her the other boob. Okay, she wanted the other boob. So here he is, el papá luchón. Got himself a
4x4. I got myself. You got it for me.
Oh, yeah, I got
it. I don't even know what this is called, but it's very convenient.
Oh my god, yo no voy a caber.
Pues sit on my lap.
No.
Dale, 'tis the season, me baby. You got the green light from the doctor. You can sit on my lap now.
Ruben, my mom and my dad watch this.
It's a bit late for that, sweetie.
You wanna say hi?
Yeah.
Okay, excuse my daughter, está un poquito greñudita, but here's Valentina. Mwah. So my husband's gonna join me to answer the questions that you guys asked us on Instagram. Hola, pa. Bien. Aquí en la casa, ¿por qué?
Porque andas pintada. Es una niña fashionista. Oh, the princess.
Another interruption, but we're back, hopefully for good. All right, so this is like a 3-part question. How are you adjusting? How do you juggle the kids and school? And do you have help?
We're still adjusting, honestly.
And as far as how we juggle the school, we give each other time, and I try to wake up early and do some of that work in the mornings. That's why también we hadn't vlogged at all, because now I really have to focus on school, because I didn't focus on school for so long after I had the baby. And then as far as the kids, how do we juggle the kids? Well, you know, it has been hard with 4. I was saying earlier that whoever said that after you have 3 babies, the 4th one was like a breeze, like como si nada, like that's not true, right?
A lot of people that might say this, or I guess wherever that theory came from, is not kids, is not people that have 4 under 4.
Oh yeah.
So that's the rough part. I think it's just that their kids still need us. Like they're not quite independent yet. They still need their mom and dad to tend to them. Ruben's a little more independent, but even at that, like he's still a kid. He's a preschooler, I think, right? Preschooler.
Yeah, preschooler.
And he's barely 4, so he still obviously needs us, and they need to be under our supervision. So it's not as easy as just like, andale, roam free, andale.
Yeah.
So not quite there yet. Maybe the 5th one, maybe it'll be a little easier. We don't know yet. We'll keep you updated on that one.
The question is, what's the hardest thing you have gone through this postpartum? So the hardest thing I've gone through this postpartum was when the babies got RSV. Seeing Regina going through RSV was just breaking my heart. Like it really was. It was the hardest thing for sure, especially when we ended up going to the hospital and, you know, seeing her on the oxygen like when she was coughing, que
Her cough,
hasta le hacía,
her cough, yeah,
like
her
she would
cough.
make this like wheezing noise, like
she would cough and then like kind of like she was like trying to push something out that wasn't there. Like it was just it was heartbreaking. It was definitely hard to hear her and see her like that. Like we've never experienced anything so difficult with our children being newborns. Or like to hear her now, she's still malita, but she's
like,
way better. Like no, not que ver. Like she was like that cough. I think that cough was probably the hardest part of the whole like seeing her, because like you can hear her pain. It was hard hearing her like that, but thank God she's okay. And I agree with her, even though I wasn't postpartum. But I mean, it definitely was like, I guess the period it has been the hardest part.
Another question is, do y'all even sleep?
What is sleep? Is that with two E's?
But you know what? She's a really good baby.
She's a
So
really good baby.
even though it's a little bit of sleep, like we don't wake up because of her. We're waking up
Yeah.
because he goes to work and because I have to work on my
So
school stuff.
we've been it's I guess now like hitting that on top, just besides her being sick, right? But
Yeah.
I guess on the day-to-day, like now, probably after the 6-week mark or so, that she started sleeping well. It was mainly back to our we still wouldn't sleep before, but it was back to our normal no sleep,
Yeah.
not the extreme no sleep.
Not the sleeping only 2 hours. Now we sleep 4.
No, we sleep our
Five.
usual 4, or what we're used to, you know.
Another one is, does postpartum get easier with 4 kids or harder? I want more kids, but I'm scared it gets overwhelming. As far as the postpartum period as a woman, it did get easier. Like I guess I wasn't.
You knew what to expect.
I knew what to expect. As far as the babies, we did know what to expect, but that still didn't make it easier. So we have 4 under 4. Like when Regina was born, Ruben was 3, Valentina was 2, and there was 1, and she was, you know, a newborn. Yeah. It was harder at the beginning, but I really wouldn't discourage you to have another baby, like because it's only overwhelming at the beginning. The beginning is always hard with everything, with a new job, with a marriage, with babies.
I think
with everything.
There's no, I guess what would be the negative? There would be no negatives that outshine the positives.
No regrets.
No regrets. No regrets. If you know, you know.
Another one is, todavía quieres más. So do we want more kids?
Minimum, at least one more.
We want at least one more. So
Yeah,
yes.
that's what we said last time.
Yeah, we do want more. The other one is, ¿a quién piensas que se parece tu nena? Yo pienso que se ve diferente que los demás. So, who do you think she looks like? And then they're saying that they think that she looks different than the other babies.
Yeah, the other ones are definitely copy-paste. I think she has more resemblance to her. I think the fact that Regina has a more petite nose, a more petite mouth, like just everything in her seems more petite, like more I don't know, right? And petite's the right word, right?
Yeah, petite.
Yeah, so
like
it's definitely aquí queen. The queen mother. Oh, queen mother queen.
No, she
looks
does.
like her mom. Like definitely looks like her mom.
I think we already answered this one, but do you guys get up at night with your 2 youngest or just the baby now? Sending much love.
A week before she was born, we decided to take Ander off of the bottle and off of the pacifier. But we're not waking up with 2 kids in the middle of the night because they're hungry. So we decided, you know what? Cold turkey, we took him off. And he adjusted very well. He took it like a champ, adjusted very well in that week.
Yeah.
To where when we came home with her, he was no longer waking up.
I think we're gonna end it here because Regina
ready.
is ready and the kids they're done. We tried to entertain them, but yeah, they're done being entertained. We're gonna continue checking in with you guys as far as our postpartum journey is going, the baby updates, and like I said earlier, I want to share with you guys my favorite breastfeeding products, my favorite newborn products, and all of that good stuff. If you guys are new here, again, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.
See you guys on the next one.